guys, welcome or welcome back. My name is Emily Garvey, and on this channel I love sharing my love for thrifting and DIY and home renovation. Currently we are renovating a 1970s home that my parents purchased and we're renting from them. So we're doing a lot of projects together, and today I have an update on our kitchen makeover. There has been a lot that has happened. Countertops, a DIY range hood, and lighting, to name a few. So we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna show you what we've been up to the past, I think it's been about 2 months since I've filled you in on what we've been doing in here. And then we're gonna have a thrift haul of some items that I want to style in our kitchen to bring that charm, the vintage moody look that I'm going for. And an update is I chopped off like 7 inches of hair, so still figuring out how to style it and everything, but it's like the perfect thing for summer. So let's dive right in. So I want to recap a little bit of where we started because I am pretty darn proud of how far this place has come. So as you can see, we started with a drop ceiling in here, which was quite popular in the 70s. We also had a lot of linoleum, a few layers, a lot of wrought, and as you saw, some green gingham wallpaper. So the first thing to go was the appliances and the cabinets. Those are already out, and then we raised this ceiling, which made the biggest difference in here. Here it is with all of the studs still intact, and we had a problem with all of the electrical wiring actually dropping underneath the level of the normal roof and through the rafters that way. So our handyman was able to rewire everything up here, but that was quite the process. So after we finished all of the demolition that we did, our cabinets and appliances were delivered, and then our handyman Dennis actually took over in the rest of the space, drywalling in everything, mudding it, and making the ceiling nice and flat. This clip was about 2 weeks before we moved in, and somehow he was able to transform this space and make it functional like this for when we moved in. So he installed the cabinets, the appliances, and plywood countertops that are temporary because cabinets have to be installed before you can get it measured, and it takes about 6 weeks for the countertops to come in. But something that we did need to take on was this pantry. It was not done when we moved in. We tried to take off the 6 layers of contact paper that were on these shelves, but decided since they were sagging anyway, we would just start fresh. So we did leave the brackets on the side since the spacing was pretty good, and went in with our wall color, which is alabaster. My parents came into town a few weeks after we moved in, thank goodness, and they cut and painted and installed these new shelves here, which are painted our trim color, which is accessible beige. And then we took a long pause on any renovations to get ourselves and our kids settled in our new city. But now we are moving on to our DIY range hood, which has been a long time dream of mine. And yes, that is sunlight peeping through because we had to cut a hole in the roof. My dad and Dominic built the frame for our range hood, and then this we brought up into the kitchen, mounted onto the wall, and crossed our fingers that the insert would fit. And let me tell you, it was quite a drama getting the insert to actually fit. I won't go into all of the details, but it was not as easy as we saw in any of the YouTube videos that we watched. We decided we wanted it to match our cabinets, which are a shaker style cabinetry, and so my dad added this trim, and then it was time to add more accessories. Okay, the boys are napping. We have a very exciting package. These are our lights. So I have been super excited to open these, but we just haven't had the time, honestly. So as you can see behind us, we got the hood up. My dad and Dominic did that completely themselves. So don't look back there yet. I still need to paint it, and I'll show you guys that process. So let's open these, and I will also share with you guys a little secret of how I've been finding lighting that I really like, that it looks more high-end than it is, for a lot cheaper. Okay, so here's the process that I use. Now, I use Google Lens, which if you don't have, you absolutely need to download it now. I upload a screenshot of the item that I really like. I found this one on Amber Interiors that I loved, but it was $1,000. From here, shop around and choose the one that you like the best, then upload a screenshot of the one that you like that's at a better price into Google Lens again, and then shop around to everywhere that it is sold. We ended up getting ours from Wayfair, which was cheaper than the price that you just saw there. Oh yeah, I think that's cool. It looks super old and crusty. Like a good kind of old, I think. It looks like it's always been here. Like that's what I want most of this house to be. I want to have character, but I want the character to be like very cohesive and just look like it's original, and that it's just been well taken care of for the 50 years that this house has been around. So this part slides onto it like so. Perfect. So that pendant that you guys just saw is going to go over the peninsula as a pair, and then over the sink, we have a spot where we can put a flush mount. We decided to go with a semi-flush mount. It was the same like line, and so it matches and coordinates really nicely. It just is a little bit bigger and higher, and of course, like doesn't have the chain there. I decided to do this by myself while the boys were napping, so it entailed a lot of grabbing screwdrivers with my toes. Would not recommend, but hey, I had to get it done. I just wanted this process to keep on moving. Ignore the mess of our family room behind us, but this is where the two pendants are going to go, these here. And I mentioned in a previous video that one of my mistakes was that I put these lights a little bit too close to the door so that the door would actually bang like into it. Well, I found these little like stoppers. One of y'all actually told me about them. I just ordered them on Amazon. They were super cheap, and I just put those in there, and it like prevents the door from going past like 89 degrees or something very specific, and it's perfect. So now it's not going to hit our lights, and we might eventually move them a little bit this way just like to be perfectly centered, but it works for now. We're gonna get these hung up. Ha, yeah, she really thought she was gonna get all the lights hung up. Absolutely not. The boys woke up, but that's okay. I wanted to share that we did add under cabinet lighting because that was in a few clips back, if you noticed. My dad came into town and helped us do these, but I would not recommend the ones that we got because they were extremely tedious to get up into there. So you still have like wires hanging down, but this is without the lights turned on, and then look at how much of a difference it makes once they're on. It just really changes the whole like atmosphere of the kitchen, and I think makes it like much more flattering light than having overhead light on. I think that honestly I should have done like a little tiny like lamps or something in my old kitchen before I had the under cabinet lighting. We were renting, so like I didn't want to add that, but you can actually get really cheap, inexpensive like strips. LED, I think it is. These are a little bit more fancy. Again, I wouldn't recommend these. We went ahead and hung these at 32 inches, which is within the recommended range of 30 to 36 inches. That's just what looked best to our eye. Another thing I shared in my last update was that we were considering removing that cabinet that is right behind Dominic and turning it into open shelving, but we did decide to keep it. We, after living in the space, just needed the extra storage, and it was ultimately my parents' decision for that. So we really like it, and it is staying exactly as is, but we will be adding the trim up at the top next. Ready for the moment of truth? Stand back. Yes. That makes me so happy. It was good. Let me turn the other one now too. The garbage just goes off. There we go. Okay, so now that you've seen what we've been up to, let me show you what I've brought home from the thrift store, yard sales, estate sales, you name it. I'll let you know where I found all of these things. The first thing is these bar stools. I'll show you a B-roll clip of me like styling these things as I go along. I think that's probably the most efficient way to do this, but I love these chairs. These are very on trend with this woven thing going on here, and I love this color of wood. I know some people really like the more like gray toned wood, or some people like the whitewashed wood. I'm just a classic girl. I like this warm tone of wood. I think is just beautiful and is not gonna go out of style, I think, the way that like the gray toned wood is. I don't know, it's just my opinion. I might make someone angry saying that. Anyway, let's move on to the next item, which I got at Goodwill. I'm obviously using these for plants. I think the last time that I showed you a vase that I got at Goodwill, I was also already using them for plants, but these I'm using for a little bit of propagation. I really need to change that water, that's disgusting. But these smoky little vases, I just thought were precious. They have this kind of rolled top on them, and I've been styling them on my windowsill, which I think looks really cute. I think any space just needs a little bit of a green like plant. If you feel like a space is looking awkward, chances are you just need a little bit of a green, some life to add into there. That's my design opinion, at least. Anytime it's, what just fell? Was that the paint tray?
Yeah.
Oh,
goodness. But nose filled.
Really? We're transitioning to no naps, and so this is interesting. So these I thought were really sweet. I think they were $3 a piece. I took the tags off, but that sounds right for Goodwill. $3, unfortunately. They're a little overpriced, as we all know. I saved my favorite item for last. It's like shocking. Like I can't believe I actually found this. This little piece is not new. I've shared this before, but I wanted to show you guys. I'm styling it in the kitchen, thrifted this little vase. I want to say it was, is it written on there? I want to say it was $3 as well. And then I've got this at, I think it was Joann's, maybe Hobby Lobby, and just stuck it in there. It adds a little bit of life, even though it's not real. I think it's cute. This piece. So I found this at an estate sale. You've probably seen this print before. I've seen it a lot on social media. I guess it's very like cottagey style right now, but it is a classic piece. I did a little bit of research, like I shared that little tip of how I find discount lighting. I also researched pieces that I thrift using the same technique, and I found out that it's actually a picture. It's not a painting. I always thought it was a painting, but it was a picture that was done in Minnesota. This man like just volunteered for this studio to do this. He was kind of a poor man is what I've heard, and they paid him for it, and then the picture just like went viral. I forgot what the date was. I'll put it on the screen. And then this picture actually became the state photograph of Minnesota. So I didn't know that states had state photographs, but kind of cool. Also a woman version of this, I believe, but I've never found that. And I've just always been wanting one of these. And I found this at an estate sale. It was $5 for this one. Okay, also at Goodwill. These are just really practical for me. They're just these super simple ramekin, is that what they're called? Ramekins. They're like dishwasher oven safe. Sometimes I make like little egg bakes in these, melt butter in them. Like they're just so handy, and I only had 3 of them before, and these were only 99 cents a piece. Okay, so this is not a thrifted item, but I do think it added a lot to our kitchen styling, and it is this vintage inspired runner. I found this on Wayfair. It is washable. The texture is a little bit weird for a kitchen. I think they did have it styled like in the pictures in a kitchen, but it's very soft, but so far it's been fine. I've washed it I think 3 times already since we got it maybe 2 months ago or so, and it's held up very nicely and brings in a really nice beautiful color to contrast the kind of orangey floors that we have. Okay, now for my very favorite item that I've ever thrifted. I don't know, no, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but I found these ceramic bowls. Now, if you guys have any expertise on these are sold for a lot of money, the actual antique ones, but I don't know if these are actually antique or anything. These don't have any marking on the little one, but then they do on this one. This one says 1 gallon, and that just looks like new print to me at least, but maybe I'm incorrect. I don't know. I'm hoping that these are not actually the old ones so that I can actually use them. Otherwise, I just wouldn't feel safe using these for our family. Maybe it's fine, but I've just been using them to store fruit in on our countertop, and I think they're just so beautiful. They look very old and authentic to me, and so I'm happy about that. Honestly, they could just be something from Target. I'm fine with that as well. I don't know. Maybe you guys know. You can let me know. The smaller one was $5, and then the bigger one was $7, and I thought that was a great deal. All right, are you guys ready to see the transformation of this space? I'm gonna show you the before and then the after in 3, 2, 1.
There is a trend on social media for the past year or so to romanticize your life. As a Christian woman, I have been questioning it. Is it just glamorizing our life to show off on social media? But through prayer about it, I have come to realize that it is really about finding beauty and gratitude in the mundane. Maybe that means the middle of a project or just small moments of nostalgia and stillness. This kitchen has come so far. There are still things we want to do, like paint the hood, add a backsplash, finish the under cabinet backing, heck, even add the rest of our cabinet handles to make it functional. But I want to focus on all that we have done and created in this space so far. So here I am romanticizing this half-finished kitchen that stayed this clean for about 4 minutes, but I am so very grateful for it. If you enjoyed this one, I would so appreciate if you gave it a like and let me know in the comments below. That so helps my channel. You can find me on Instagram for more real-time updates and family moments at EE Garby. I hope that you have a very blessed week, and I will see you in the next one.